Today, approximately 37,000 inmates are detained in various prisons all over Nigeria, awaiting trial. Most of the people in Nigerian prisons are too poor to be able to pay lawyers, and only 1 in 7 of these awaiting trial have private legal representations. As a result, it is imperative that immediate measures are taken to avert an epidemic and exclusion of indigent citizens within the society. Upon release from prison, inmates pose a risk of recidivism. The Nigerian prisons have become a holding tank instead of a correction institute. These detainees are routinely subject to torture or cruel and inhumane treatment. Many are held to what effectively amounts to indefinite detention without charge. Prisoners in Nigeria are among the most vulnerable people in our society. Being poor should not be a crime. This underscores Article 7 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, which states, "All are equal before the law and are entitled without any discrimination to equal protection of the law. All are entitled to equal protection against discrimination in violation of this declaration and against any incitement to such declaration."
Monday was a young man who just came from the village in Edo State to Lagos to live with the auntie. And on his way to the office one of those days, and the area boys just harassed him because he does not understand English. He does not understand Yoruba. Even his English is countable. That you can count his words when he speaks. So he understands his language fluently. So and that was what they used against him. On that morning, he was going to work as early as 7 o'clock in the morning, and he was rounded up by some boys that started speaking Yoruba. He did not understand them. The next thing, they beat him up. At least for 8 months, Monday was nowhere to be found. Until about a year, one police officer came to the apartment to tell us about Monday, that Monday is alive, because we all thought Monday was dead. When we went to look for him at the place of work, they said he never reached the office that morning and he left home. Until about 2 years later, when I got to know about the case, and we prayed over it, and we started the search for him. And when I got to, because I also belong to a prison ministry those days, I was opportune to visit him in the prison. That's at Ikoyi prison. There where he gave me all the details of what happened, and I have to go and trace the court. Then from the court, one Mrs. Cole at court 12, Ebute Meta, was the one that introduced me to this Human Rights Foundation. She gave me the card of Mr. Victor Fakule, and when I called him, he responded to me immediately and he gave me hope again. I was so happy when he told me, "Madam, don't worry, your son will be released." I was thinking, when? How? Before you know it, getting to 3 years, this boy was still there. All effort to no avail, until Human Rights Foundation stepped in and they decided to take the case upon themselves, look for the police report, get the judge report, and the court where they transfer him to, where they are going to sit for the next meeting. For the whole 3 years, this boy was not tried. He was just there suffering. And when I was told by Human Rights Foundation that they can help me, I believe, but I did not still believe. I said, Nigeria, anything can happen. They can always promise. But I just have faith in God that this time around, these people will work for my favor. And indeed, God really used them to work for my favor. And today, I'm so happy because Monday was released September 2013. On September 26, 2013, precisely. And today, Monday is a free man. And I'm so happy that this foundation really have kept to their promise. That is the most important thing. They did not just promise, they did not just give me that confidence, but they made sure they followed me from the womb until my son was released.
2007, I was passing by, I met some guys in the bus stop, they are fighting, and I went to help. Suddenly, somebody died, and before you know, I found myself in prison. So when I found myself in prison, nobody to help. My family tried, but when any lawyer that we took, they won't do anything but they will collect money. After 4 years, year 2012, I met Human Rights Foundation. They came into prison yard and give us the word of encouragement that they wanted to help. So I didn't believe it that they would do something. But why Mr. Victor starts, I don't know, but it's just like a miracle, the way he performed. After 2 months later, he now came back again, that he went to court, he didn't find my case file. I said, well, that's what I'm talking about. I don't know, nobody promised me that I'm going to court this and that. But before we know, they now say that I should come, and I come out. So they now took me to Oyingbo court. When I went there, I saw Mr. Victor Fakunle in that place. He said that he's the one that are calling me. And we now enter the court hall. So they now say that, why do they keep me in the prison for 4 years and 8 months without no trial? And the woman say, okay, he will not give me 15 days adjournment. In that 15 days, I now out. I really appreciate what Human Rights Foundation did.
My name is Suleiman Dogo. My son is Yaya Dogo, who was involved in case of armed robbery. He was taken to Ajua police station at Ajah. Later he was referred to SAP, that is Geja, but they were taken to Kirikiri prisons for further investigations. So I got in touch with the human rights lawyer, who was Chief Victor Fakule, who voluntarily took over the case. Eventually the case is now on in the court. I paid the internals and external media to assist them because they are doing a very good job. Because many people have been homeless at prison, nobody helped them. But the lawyer Fakule have done his possible best to bring this boy out for judgment.
I met Mr. Victor Fakunle late 2011, and he carried a passion for inmates who had not had their day in court, and they were in their myriads. The prisons were congested. These people had no legal representation whatsoever, and the hope was bleak. They couldn't see a way out of jail. And truth is, many of them were suffering from crimes they knew nothing about, and yet they had no legal representation. HRF has a dream and a passion, and I encourage you, everyone listening, to join us as we take back Nigeria from the hands of impunity and injustice.
Now, one of the cases that actually touched me was a kid, one of the kids I represented. His name is Peter Ogundere. He was accused of murder at the age of 15, and he has been kept incarcerated under awaiting trial for over 5 years. Now, this kid has nobody in Lagos State, no parents, no relatives, nothing. HRF have actually delved into the situation in order to save this young boy called Peter Ogundere from the hands of the injustice that's happening in our society. Now we encourage everybody to support the Human Rights Foundation, because with your support, we believe that we will achieve our vision.
Human Rights Foundation has been advocating and training inmates since its inception since 2002. We collaborate with other non-governmental and faith-based organizations to address the issues of human rights violations in our Nigerian criminal justice system. The vision of Human Rights Foundation is that every individual who has been accused of an offense in this country should have legal representation. No one should be able to go without representation in this country, regardless of his status, regardless of his age, regardless of the status in his community. At this point right now, we can only move forward. Justice can only be done because justice is right now in your hands. The power to deliver that justice is in your hands.